Eavesdrop. Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of our Eavesdrop podcast. Today I have two lovely ladies with me. I have Maria here and Margaret there. Hi guys.
Hello.
And they're going to tell us a little bit about their daily life. Maria, tell us, who are you and what are you doing here? How come you're sitting on this couch?
Okay. I'm Maria Finitz and I'm here as a caregiver working in the community on a daily basis, Monday till Friday, sometimes on the weekends.
All right, Margaret, and you?
Hi, I'm Margaret. I'm also working in the community. Daily basis, Maria's my partner, so we work together.
You work together and you walk together, right?
Yes.
So our home-based carers are all trained, I think all with the Nightingale Trust, right?
Yes.
So you went through a process of how long to become home-based carers?
At the moment, I can't remember.
Do you remember? Is it like 4 months or something?
Yeah, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I think 3 months.
So we have a group of currently 6 people who have gone through the training and are working in our community. And so you work together. What do you do every day?
On a daily basis, we also making like a program because we're having a lot of ground and we're working different things on different grounds. Like for instance, the dressing we're gonna do every second day, so we're not gonna go every day to their house. Then it's treatment, then it's sputum, then we're doing the TB screening, we're giving out condoms, but we have like on days we're doing that.
Yes. Now you tell me, you do dressings, you do sputums, you do TB screening, you hand out condoms. How do I envision this? You go knock on the door and go like, hi, we're the caregivers of the care center and here are some condoms. Or how does this work, Margaret?
No. The condom side.
Anything, just tell us how it works.
When we decided we are going to do the screening, we pack out things, we go out with 4 boxes of condoms. We carry it outside into our hands, like as we go out, we represent it. And then the youngsters will come close to us and they will ask, can you give us condoms? But before we give out the condoms, we will do a health talk with them. We will ask them about how does a condom work, how do you put it in, what is the condom for, and we ask them all that questions.
And how do they receive that kind of interaction, the youngsters?
The youngsters, some of them, they are funny, really funny. Some of them said they use it. No, mommy, you know most how do we use it? Then we say to them, no, show us how to use it. Because,
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. And then we want them to open it. And then they open it and then they show us how they use it. And then we said, okay, you qualify, you can get 1. Then they said, no, we want 2 or 3. Then we give them 4.
Okay.
And as we pass, it goes like, and when we reach Greenfield, where I work, then the condoms is
finished.
Yes.
Wow. Sounds like fun though, hey?
It is.
And I think especially when you're mothers, right?
Yes.
And I can imagine, or let me ask you, like, are you dealing more with the younger children, the young adults, or are you also dealing with grown-ups?
Also with growing ups.
Okay. And are they as fun? Like, do you also do the health talk, like that conversation with the grown-ups?
Yes.
Okay.
We do that. Some of the grown-ups will say, no, I don't do that. Then we will say, no,
Then you
but
don't
you
need-
have a husband or you have a boyfriend, so you are active. We know you are active, but they are shy. Then we say, no, you don't have to be shy.
And
All right.
also we're talking about the children not planning kids.
Yes.
And the end of the day, the children is suffering because the child is not planning. So for your safety also, it's very good.
Yes.
And also for the STI. The condoms is also good for the STI because we know most of our youngsters, they don't have one partner. So that also is
And
very
when
helpful.
we say they don't have one, we mean they have plenty. So would you say there are more women or more men coming for the condoms?
More men.
Man.
Okay, I at least.
And for the woman, we will advise them to go to the clinic for family planning or the implant.
And do you also talk about pap smears?
Yes.
Okay. So
And-
basically, whilst you're on your way to do your other tasks, you're already providing health education and handing out condoms.
Yes.
That's, I think, a very cool thing. And when we talk about the other stuff, like the sputum testing, the TB screening, the wound care, treatment adherence, how do you actually get patients?
We for the TB sputum, we're doing door by door, and we're doing health talk, and after that, and we tell them about the danger of the TB, and there is like you don't have to die of TB because there's a treatment you can get, and it's for 6 months, sometimes it's 9 months, and you can get healed of it, and because you can die of TB. People get the message and they take it very serious.
Yeah.
So then they said for us, no, you can come
Okay.
for the sputum. Then we come, having a date out, then we run to the sputum in the morning.
Okay. And other patients, like, do you always only do door to door, or do you have referrals, or?
Yeah, we do have referrals sometimes because when the sputums, you can see the patient is sick and the sputum come out negative.
Yeah.
So we go to doctor, what can you do in this situation? Then doctor say, come bring, and she see over the patient. Then she send the patient to Dora for x-rays. When the x-rays come, then the patient have TB, but the sputum said negative. And that's how helpful doctor is with the x-rays. We just not leave you because the sputum is negative, but we can see
You're
still,
actually sick.
yeah.
And sometimes I go to the clinic to Sister Prinsloo, and then I go and fetch a paper. She give me a list with names, newly diagnosed TB. So we check the addresses. We are a group of 3. So if you walk on that ground, maybe Golihlahla, Busa, Kerkstraat, you take your names. So you go to that grounds and you go into that house. So we know most this person's positive, for example. Then we do a screening into the house. We see that all the people in the house must do a sputum. And if we get into the house and there's people who didn't do the sputum, we ask them and they agree. And then sometimes how we get the defaulters also in one line. How we get the defaulters because we was having a challenge like that, was having a name. So we go out to that house and then we found out in that house there was the mother of the house. Then she had 3 sons. And then we found out all 3 sons is TB positive.
Yeah.
One is MTR, they are defaulted. One is Missionville Clinic. We also find out, but this name is also on the list. The same house. And the other 2 is attending clinic by Alcopa Clinic. So they was also looking for them.
Sure.
And then we said, bring your cards. So we check and then we see they are all defaulters.
Yeah.
And it's a risk. We send them back, we refer them back to the clinic. So we also communicate with doctor, Missionville Clinic and also Alcopa Clinic.
In other words, we are working not only on our own, we're working actually with the National Health Department, with the local clinics that are surrounding us. For the people that don't know, there's a clinic right next door to the Missionville Care Center, and Agor Park is our next area right next door where there's also a clinic.
And what we observe while we're doing the TB screening, then we catch a lot of TB defaulters
Yes.
in that. And also the HIV traces also.
And I think something that I would love to talk to you about also Zimbabwe, because we're talking a lot about TB. So because there's so much TB happening in our community, and it really makes people really sick. And then I don't know if everybody out there knows that when you start TB treatment, you even get more sick. You actually feel like you're getting more sick, which is why lots of people stop taking TB treatment, right? Because when you're starting, it makes you feel weak and powerless. So these two ladies here have started a support group for our TB clients, and I would like to hear from you guys, how does that work?
Oh, when you come for the first time, we're getting our patients from the clinic next door. After you're starting the treatment for 2 weeks, then you can come and join the TB support group. We also check the card. Are you up to date? And if we're seeing maybe your body of your weight is very low, we also have porridge. And when we take you in the support group, we run the journey with you until we see there's improvement, and then you just stay in the support group. And we check the cards. There's also a paper we fill in when you came. The side effects, we teach them about the side effects so they don't have to worry if they see there's any kind of difference in the body. So
Okay, I think you need to tell our viewers a bit more about you're checking the cards. We're talking about the green dotting cards, right?
yes.
Can you, Margaret, explain to us the green dotting card? What does the card do? We're checking the card.
If we check the cards, they come in, we check the cards, maybe they started on the 20th of the 1st, whatsoever, and then the sister, she will put the next date there on the card. And then, which means that date where she put is your treatment is finished. But sometimes there will be a day, your treatment will be left like for a day, and then you must come back to the clinic to fetch the second treatment. And if we don't go to the clinic and you join the support group again, we will check the card again, and then we will know that you didn't go to the clinic to go and fetch your tablets. Then we will say to you, go to the clinic, and then they will say to us, no, but do we want to join the support group? Then we said, no, go first to the clinic so that you can get your treatment, and then if you get it, you can come back. Then they will say, but the queue is too long. We are going to sit the whole day. Then we'll say, okay, we will keep your things for you. But after you are finished there, we will have a one-on-one section with you.
Yeah.
And we also do counseling with our TB supporters, where we see if they don't drink their tablets or if they don't catch up on time with them. Then with Maria, it's good in that. She will do that one-on-one section with the group, and I will with the person, and I will continue with the group.
Okay. So just to make this 100% clear, there is a green card that our health services hand out.
Yes.
And there are dates in there, right? And then every day that you've taken your treatment, you put a dot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's TB dotting. I think it's a very common thing in South Africa, but I don't think it's a very common thing anywhere else. So that's how we track that a patient has really taken their medication. And just as a side note, we also often, when your people are especially like underweight, you talked about the porridge, but then we also give them food parcels for the period of time in which they are getting the treatment. And then we check their weight when they're done and see if they still need assistance or if they're now good and then no longer need a food parcel. Guys, I would love to know what you love most about your job and what you find most challenging about your job. And you can start with whichever one you want.
The most thing I love about my job, it's like you must have a passion for it. And you must be patient. And you must have a lot of patience. And the most thing that I like of my job, the way the people like communicate back to me, it's very respectful.
Yeah.
If what I give for them, they also giving back for me. And that making us in my journey easy because the communication is very good.
All right. And what do you love most about your job?
I like very sick people. I like to work with them sick because I want to see the improvement in them. And if I work with them, I work with love, I work with passion, and I work with respect with them. So I give them that warm feeling. So that's why we communicate well together, so we understand well together. So for the people, for the patients, they find it easier to communicate with us because they know we are not going to say, Dada, like us move. So we listen. We always have an ear to listen to them.
Can I say something? You see, this job is not sometimes easy, né? Because it's very emotional.
Yes.
I remember 2 times. One time I ended up there by Vista, and the second time was now like this month was past. Almost I lost it because it's so touchy sometimes the situation where people are in. And for me as caregiver, I wanted to do more, but now I also learn I have to draw boundaries in my
I should
life.
maybe also tell you that Maria probably almost got herself divorced because she always wants to do more.
Yes,
And her
Trina.
husband said, we are not going to do this anymore. You can't bring patients into my house anymore. You have your own family to look after. You don't want to talk about it?
Yeah, not
Burn out.
yes,
I think it's very important though that
and yeah, I must.
you always want to do more and more and more. And I remember, it's a long time ago, but I think I will never forget that you took a patient into your house and let them sleep there because that patient's house was full of insects and you you fumigated the house and they couldn't be in their own house, so you took them in over the weekend.
Yeah,
And I always thought, my husband would not allow me to do that.
yeah. But really, I have to think of myself
Yes.
because I was having a breakdown. Now. So I'm busy to take care of myself slowly by slowly. Not just pushing people away, but because sometimes that more
Yeah.
it's getting really
I
it's
know.
tough.
Oh, I know.
So
And I think it's something very hard to learn because the moment you say no to somebody, you feel like you don't do them justice. And it's hard for you to understand that when you are burnt out, you can't help the other person anymore. Am I
true,
right?
yeah. True.
Yeah. So is that the part that you don't like about your job, when you actually find your own
Yeah.
boundary?
Yeah. Yes, I don't like it where I must say no or I feel I can do more, but my hands is cutting off. And for me, it's like I want to see improvements. Like this year also, we're putting 3 children in school in the same house. We're having that patient, the TB patient. He have constantly TB every year. But when we going in that house as caregivers, is the second year he didn't have TB.
Wow.
So,
Wow. So you're definitely doing
and
something
we
right.
also take him out of that environment in another places better than that one.
That's fantastic.
So
And you, what do you struggle with in your job, Margaret?
But I struggle. Really no.
Or what you don't like?
If I get to that point where, like Maria, but not with children, but not like with children, I will refer. I will say to Maria, I'm not going there because I don't want to. Then Maria said no, and I said, I don't want to. You go. So either you, then me. So I will refer to Maria, then I will stand and say nothing. Just to keep my peace.
Okay. So actually for both of you, it's boundaries that are
Yes.
difficult to reinforce. I want to ask you some uncomfortable question. No, but I think it's an important one because both of you say you want to see the improvement. But not every patient heals.
Yeah,
Some
the
patients
others.
have to die.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that is a challenge for me. That is really a challenge for me. Because when I can see, hey, this thing, then in my mind I can't switch off. I thinking and I don't know really. It's tough, but at the moment I'm really doctor help me to. Yeah.
So doctor helps you through
Yeah,
talking to you, like
yeah.
counseling,
And
or does he
also
explain
that-
to you what's
Yeah.
happening with the patient?
I was there by Vista with that situation, and I got through the counseling there, and they teach me a lot. But then I have for a long time, and then it started again.
Yeah.
Then doctors start to get the root of this thing. So the root of all this, it's children, where children is involved. But
It gets to your heart
yeah,
too much, right?
but yeah, doctor she's with me. If I stuck, yeah.
That's fantastic. So we are trying to help where we can, right? And you, how do you deal?
I do. Because sometimes we can see the patient is very sick. If we discuss the patient with doctor, she will say, bring the patient in. And after seeing the patient, she will prepare. She will say to us, Margaret, the patient is very sick. Anyway, she's going to die. So, for me, it's patient died. There's nothing but shame for the family, but I deal with it.
Okay, that's good.
It's not that I'm heartless.
No, oh, I know you're not heartless.
Ja, waarvoor?
Me myself.
Nog een heartless.
No, I know you're
We
not
having
heartless.
we handle things different ways.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's not like
Maybe she's soft and I will.
no.
Yeah.
And I think, the one thing is, in the course of the years, we used to rotate people around, right? And you used to work with different partners, but somehow you always snuck back together. Like I remember you specifically being placed away from each other, and then it doesn't take long, boom, Margaret and Maria on the road again. So you guys just really work well with each other, right?
Yes.
And we understand each other. And if we have a case, we will talk and we will listen and we will agree. If Maria said no, Bobo, it's fine. We will agree. We don't disagree. Like Maria said no, Bobo said yes. No, we take it together and we work together and we find a solution.
And that I think is very special. So, tell me, besides being colleagues, would you say you're friends?
Friends.
Yeah, we talk.
I don't know. I mean, are you friends?
We talk.
You've been working with each other for how many thousand years?
We talk. We are colleagues and we talk. We're not like what can I say?
I can't
Just
take
say
Maria as my friend. I will take her as a mother and everything. Yeah, but she's too big for me to my friend. But she ever here for me. Yeah, if I need a
It's
shoulder
out.
to cry on, yes, I will run to Maria. Even if it's weekends or whenever I need her. It doesn't matter if it's midnight. I phone, she must pick up her phone. She's always there for me.
My girl, I call that a friend.
Oh, I call her mother.
Well, true. So, can you imagine working with somebody else? I mean, you tried and you kind of decided that that's not really working, right?
It's not going to work for me.
And you?
No, I can work with someone else. I teach them.
You like teaching others, right?
Yeah.
You actually like those students that come, ne?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the students. What is that? What kind of students are they? And what do you teach them?
Like sometimes they come in, like when we go out on houses, ne? And like you never show, even when the house is dirty and smelling, you mustn't show it all. That's how teach my when they going out with me.
Yeah.
And they do understand. Sometimes they when they as you come you can see most how it is. Then they just break and stand maybe. If they
Okay.
know they can't control themselves.
They're-
Yeah,
it's
then they
like-
just hi, hello. How you like that?
Okay.
You see.
And are they are nursing students or they are medical doctor students or what kind of students do
No,
you do?
sometimes these nursing students go out with us. No, they're going in the house. The nursing students.
Okay.
But the other MMNU children who come
Okay,
here,
those
it's a
international
different,
volunteers.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a different.
All right. So that is something that brings a bit of fresh wind into
Yeah.
your daily routine.
I can remember, it's been a long time, when we're taking out a student in Makulua's pool, that time, then I just put my gloves on and she also wanted to come after me. It wasn't not even 5 minutes, then she fainted. Then I have to
Oh,
take her
Lord.
out because of the smell.
Yes.
So I take her out. She was sitting there in a chair and I was busy cleaning, cleaning Makulu. After that, we opened the windows and everything. Then she just agreed.
Okay.
But she was also feeling bad because of
Oh, I can
what
imagine.
happened. Yeah.
Nobody
So,
wants to
Yeah.
actually.
So.
All right. So I have one last question, I think, before I set you free. If you could change anything about your job, what would you change?
Change like to do.
Anything. Just don't tell me you want more money.
We was not even thinking of that.
Of money.
I was fearing that.
It's not about money.
No, I know. But like if you
You
could,
see,
if you
the
could do
change
anything
about
else,
my job, ne? It's like really, Sabrina. I can't take it when someone is needed, and I must go to different kind of process to get that thing. For me, it's like I want it now, and that one needed it now. Can you help me now, like? You see, if that can change, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but
so meaning you patiently
really
need
help,
something
yeah,
and you
yeah,
want to be able to be
yeah.
like, I'm gonna get it for you, and then
And it's not like
get
I'm
it.
going to do it all the time, but at the moment that one needed it really
need.
now.
Really
It's
need.
in need.
Emergency need.
And what is this kind of need, for example? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, small things, big things like that.
Look, I'm asking you this because you never know who watches this podcast.
Yeah.
If somebody is out there that's like, hey, there's emergency need, tell me what it is and maybe I can help. So if we understand what are these needs, so are we talking about like adult diapers? Are we talking
It's
about
one of them, yeah.
clothing? Are we talking
Yeah.
about bedding? Are we what are we talking about?
Wheelchairs.
That's
Yeah,
wheelchairs, that's stick walking sticks.
Yes.
And diapers also.
And then I think
And-
one thing that you told me also a couple of years ago that I found very interesting is, I think it was you and I think it was a group of Irish visiting. You said that person is always alone, can't they get a radio? Wasn't it you? Yeah. So it may not sound like an emergency, but if you think about mental health of a person that is bedbound and on their own the whole time, a radio can change your world, eh? Because suddenly you have people talking to you,
Listen to
music,
songs or what,
you know, exactly. It brings a whole different world into that bedroom that the person can't get out of. So it's even those kind of things that sometimes we really need, right?
Yes.
So people out there, if you can help and you want to, you comment, you like, you share, you go to our website and you will find a donate button somewhere there. Ladies, I think I'm good. Do you have anything else that you would like to say?
I also want to say thank you for the way our different departments operate sometimes. When I knock at the door and they can see I, then they
Response.
assist me, yeah, they can see I'm, then they assist me. And also to you, Sabrina, you never
Big
chase
thank
me.
you.
And you have always an ear to listen. And try to understand me for all these years that I work here, really. Thank you. Big thanks.
That's a pleasure.
Because sometimes people can get frustrated also. Oh, it's Maria, Maria, Maria. You see?
Maria can also get frustrated, right?
No, very, very. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the departments, every department on board.
Thank you for saying that. And you, Margaret, anything that you want to say lastly? No, you're good? Okay, so bye, guys. See you
Bye
next time.
bye.